And now. Right. Good morning on YouTube. How are we all? It's lovely to see you. Happy April the 1st. But this isn't an April Fool's. It is going ahead. We are doing. Good morning, Jean. How are you? Hello, Rosemary. Oh, what a nightmare. I've always gone live on my phone through the Facebook Business Manager app. But today, every time I hit live, it turned itself off. And I tried that for a few minutes and nothing happened. So I've now gone through the basic Facebook app and it's allowed me to go live on that. So goodness knows what's going on. But good morning, and I'm sorry for being a minute or two late. Don't be worried, Rosemary. All is well. All is well. So we're going to do it's watercolours today, but I want to do we're doing a spring thing. Actually, this is a Banbury scene. This is People's Park in Banbury from a photograph I took last week. And I've already started because I've only got 45 minutes, as you know. So I've sketched it out. You can roughly see what I'm working from the picture down below, and it's of People's Park as you get towards the War Memorial in the middle of the town, and a hint of St Mary's Church in the distance. So what I've started to add is my spring flowers in wax crayon. Hello, Denise. Don't worry, Denise. I'm late joining in as well, and it's my demo, so don't worry about it. It's all right. We're all late today. Because let's blame April 1st, eh? Hello, Judy. You all right? Oh, Jean. Jean's had back surgery, but she's recuperating. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing well. Right, we've got a few people in the classroom today. So what I've started doing, these are just normal kids' wax crayons. So this isn't high-end art, but does it really matter? No, not at all. There's a bit of a lag on the Facebook comments, so I'm having to multitask. Who says men can't multitask? Hello, April. No, I can't blame you today. Happy birthday, April. Good morning, Wendy. No, the link was all over the place. Everything's all over the place. Now, next month, advanced warning, next month I will not be live on YouTube. I will only be live on Facebook because I'm outside. Because it's the day of the coronation. And we've got the Old Town Party going on. So I might be late as well. I will warn you in advance. I may be late because I'm also singing before I'm doing the demo. And the demo is going to be outside, live on Facebook. So it's everywhere. Everything's everywhere. So I will be live on Facebook doing a Bluebell Wood in acrylics around about 11-ish to 11:45-ish after I finish singing outside. It's going to be a lovely day actually until about 2-ish. We've got balloon modelers, jugglers, fire eaters, and some really good singers, and me. And so I'll be all over the place on Saturday. So yeah, it will only be live on Facebook as long as Facebook works outside. And yeah. I could move next month by a week, but I think it's all part of it'll be good for the coronation celebrations because all of the shops are open on that Saturday of the coronation, so we've got a right big party, and usually on the street parties I do a 45-minute demo, so I'll be possibly painting upside down and doing my showman bit. But it will be available on Facebook, and if I can, as long as we're not having a singer while I'm doing a demo, because the music from the singer will create copyright issues with my demo, and then I won't be able to do it. So hopefully, it will be fine. It'll all work out, and if it doesn't work out, well, doesn't matter, does it really? It's only free anyway. What you worrying about? Don't cost you anything. But I know lots of you will be busy, but I've got to do what I've got to do for the town centre, unfortunately, and it is thought that 57% of small businesses will be gone by the end of the year nationally because of the increase in electricity bills and stock. So with that in mind, we're doing whatever we can to save the town. So the demo will be on Saturday along with singers and everything else. You can always watch the demo not live if you are busy with other stuff, but I'm doing what I can to save the town, and we're all open, so we need people to support us and do all of that kind of stuff. So morning, Diane. Right, so I've added Kiddy's wax crayon and just blob blob blob. You can sharpen them. Some wax crayon boxes come with sharpener, but I actually use a normal pencil sharpener and it's fine. So I've got a nice little pink one here. But yes, I was shocked at those statistics of 57% of small businesses, and that's the ones that haven't gone yet. It's a really hard time, as we've said. You know, in our July to December classes, almost all of them are going up £1, because just for me to sit here and talk to you online, let alone in the classroom, the electricity bill's gone up by £50 to £60 a week, and the internet's gone up by £10 to £20 a week. So and my stock to do this has gone up by 12%. So, you know, we're looking at about £100 a week more outgoing to do exactly what we were doing last week or the week before. You know, it's absolutely crazy. So it is very difficult, but now is the time. If you enjoy small businesses, please support them. I'm not just saying about me or Banbury in general, but any small shop that you like, please support them, or like and share their posts if you can't afford to, because we know not many people have got much money now. So the free ways you can do it is by liking, sharing and commenting on posts, and watch our YouTube videos. The more YouTube videos get seen, we can actually start earning revenue from adverts. They've started putting adverts on some of our YouTube videos already in preparation to see, but we don't get a penny out of them because we haven't reached the threshold yet. So hopefully at some point soon we'll cross that threshold, and it'll all be fine. Everything will be fine. Right, so I've got a selection here. I'm sort of tweaking People's Park a little bit to make it more spring flowery. There is a little bit up there, but the harder you press with the wax crayon, the better the result will be. And as I say, these are... Oh, thank you for the star, Judy. These are just children's wax crayons, so they're not light fast. It's good fun to play around with to get a good effect. We did a little bit on Thursday, didn't we? We did irises in Monet's garden. But I was going to show you, there is a weeping willow here. I know. Because in Monet's garden, there's a lot of weeping willows. And Christine, who's here for the demo today... we had to do, it was basically a page of green, wasn't it, with the bridge in the middle, but it's all weeping willows, and I only needed to do the wax resist what were they, what flowers, irises, but there is a weeping willow sort of down here, so if I use a lime green colour, this might help. So the thing to remember when you're doing all of this is that you have to put the wax crayon on white paper because they're transparent. And you can't get rid of them once you've put them on. And you can't go over them again. So if you've missed an area, you can't put it back on because they're transparent. You won't see it. So there's a few things to remember there. But so put as much on.
So would you do some of those thicker, I mean heavier than others?
Yes. Yeah. So by pressing down, you get a heavier line, a darker line, and a more resistant line. Whereas if you do if I did some softer blossom that you can hardly see, it would only be more muted. Excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Give it a bit of depth.
Yeah, or you'd not bother with the wax where you want darker bits, and you just paint it darker afterwards. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like something I might be able to do so far.
Well, yes. Oh, yes, because this is watercolour, and I know you're more acrylic-y, aren't you? So that's... Do you know what? It looked better on the screen. This is the magic camera, and whatever goes on here always looks a lot better. We did David Jason in watercolours yesterday, in amongst me laughing hysterically. I laughed so much yesterday.
Does your head hurt now?
No, my glasses fell off, and I couldn't find them for 20 minutes. And it was just purely because I made a faux pas, and a bit of an innuendo that was totally unintentional, and then it broke me and I got very hysterical. Right, so along here the colours I've got: ultramarine, cerulean blue, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, crimson, burnt sienna. They are along the top of the screen anyway. If you're taking notes, you don't need to, because you can watch. So that doesn't seem too bad so far, does it, viewers? Yeah, that's the bit we can manage.
Yes.
Just having to refresh Facebook. Hi Mel. Melanie, you alright? I've only just been dabbing with a bit of wax crayon, so you haven't missed much. So you want the stronger the colours, the more the wax crayons are going to show up. So I'm going to do a sky. So now you treat it just like a normal watercolour painting. You've done all the hard work. You've done some of the hard work.
So that's just wet.
That's just water at the moment. Clear water, straight from the jar. Both blues to make quite a strong... Normally I'd want more of a cerulean because spring skies are colder. But I'm trying to add the ultramarine for a bit more bulk. So there you go. Straight away you can see the blossom is showing up. If you wanted just a few white areas, you can use candle wax. The only thing is with the candle wax, because it's the same colour as the paper, you can't always see where you've put it. And it can be a bit of a surprise. Because it might be where you didn't want it to be. And yes. So wax crayon is inexpensive. I don't think we've got any sets in at the moment, but we've normally got a set of kiddies wax crayons for like £3 for 40 colours or something like that. The better the quality, the stronger the colour. But because you're just laying it on, you can always enhance the colour with paint afterwards, so you haven't really got to worry too much. If I do a little bit of dark down there.
Go around them without fiddling, can't you? You can go around all the flowers.
Well, this is it exactly. You can just paint a scene now without any problem whatsoever. I'm going to darken just behind the... I'm going to cheat a little bit.
Yeah, rolling.
Yeah, I'm rolling the brush. It's a little nifty thing I've developed over the years where I just... And if you've not got great mobility in your thumb, it is really hard. I roll it back and forth between my finger and thumb and just drag the brush. And that stops having really hard edges. Right, so there we've got that bit. Now I know it is spring. I need to wet down here a little bit. I was being a bit stingy. I'm gonna pretend a little bit that we've got some foliage going on in the background, because like bright green foliage or something, because it is just all dead trees, and I want to ramp it up a little bit. So it's going to be my version of spring. So lemon yellow, ultramarine, and a little bit of burnt sienna. They could be fir trees though, couldn't they? Could all be deciduous stuff. And if I don't call it People's Park, then nobody can tell me off. So you'll see there, look, that pink blossom. That's a really old blossom tree. It's so beautiful. So if I do a few taller bits there, I'm going to go in front of the church because you can't really see it.
No.
But I know it's there. There was a beautiful copper beech here that's was not taken down recently because it was diseased, and it was stunning. In that, when you've got the beautiful crimson leaves against a cerulean blue sky, oh, beautiful. Right, so I've got the weeping willow. How easy is that weeping willow now compared to what I made you do last lesson?
It was inside out.
Yeah. Well, you see, this stops the inside outedness of it, doesn't it?
Because we had to do the dark stuff and leave and then you had to
Yeah,
put
your light stuff down first, and then your dark afterwards.
I hadn't realised that what the stuff was that we were painting on for stuff.
So we've done it with the bats.
I know. We weren't allowed.
Oh, really strict.
Terrible.
You can imagine how strict I am, Jane. I'm terrible.
Slaps across my hand.
I flick paint at them if they're naughty or if they're better than me. Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, that's looking so nice, Barry.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it already starts to feel something. Now, if I know you don't get foliage with blossom at the same time, do you? Do you sometimes? Okay,
Well,
so
if that was a load of laurels, yes.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a brighter green just to plop in the tree randomly around the pink blossom. So the bright green, I've used lemon yellow because it's green based, and cerulean blue because it's green based. So the more green I've got, it just helps balance up the blossom and make things feel a bit more springy. There's a word for the day, springy. And I did start thinking, because it's April Fool's Day, should I just not turn up today? But then I thought I can't do that. I've got all my fans to please.
Or you could have done something in oil or something.
Yeah,
Cutting out.
totally the opposite of
Yeah,
what we're
cutting
advertising.
out, you know.
So I'm doing bright green grass. So it does make, you know, as I go darker, because obviously with the daffodils, they are all out. It's people's. If you're in the Banbury area, People's Park is absolutely stunning at the moment with the daffodils out, and all of the avenue of blossom trees. Banbury Town Council do a wonderful job, managing the grounds, and it's just absolutely stunning. So if I put the grass on.
We've got one of their old polytunnels.
How have you?
Because they used to grow all their own
Plants,
things,
yeah.
Yeah, but they've stopped,
Oh,
which is ridiculous. But he rang up and said, "Do you want these polytunnels, or we throw them away?"
that's going to be a wall, that line there.
So he said yes.
Yeah, don't blame you.
They're short because we had to saw them off, you know, because they were set in concrete.
Oh, right, yes.
So they are lower, but they're growing to
But they still do what they do, don't they?
Yeah, because they're just growing to now, so people are not walking in them.
Just seeing if there's I think you should, Judy. It's a really good way of you know, creating things without doing too much with it. You know, you can create. So if I wanted to, I can bring these out. If I make a slightly darker tone from ultramarine and burnt sienna, like a bluey grey colour, I can sort of go in really dark.
But how it's created the space, the distance
Yeah,
between the front tree and the
And
one at
those
the back.
original trees look so good, the way they've dried, doesn't it? They look quite balloony, you know, quite,
yeah.
which looks pretty.
So this, it's just a really easy way. And I know you tell me off all the time for saying things are easy because I've been doing it for a long time. So to me, it is easy. Um, but this is something, you could do little Easter cards. So
Yes.
you've only got a week to go. But you could do Easter cards with wax crayons and just do little flowers
Yes.
with the wax crayons. So if you've got young ones or grandchildren, you could do something with them with wax crayon, wax resist.
I was
Well, we
thinking about
always
when you started off that I might take Rupert aside and do something like this.
Yeah, I think it's
But we used to paint our cards.
Yes, oh yes.
yeah. Do you know one of my students? What's really interesting? One of my students actually, she hasn't been for a while, but when she comes to class, she does it on she creates a greeting card out of the watercolor paper, and actually paints the picture as a greeting card
Actually does it.
as she does it. So then she's not left with just lots of random paintings. She can give them away as cards when she needs to. It's very clever, isn't it?
Got to be more detailed and careful though, haven't you? Care is not my strong.
You don't have to be that careful when you.
Try
I
to
mean,
be
with
so
this
careful with my name.
with this stuff. So I'm making a darker green from ultramarine and cadmium yellow now, and that should hopefully start to make
Stem.
the leaves and the stems on the daffodils pop out. See, they just come out straight away. I used 2 yellows for the wax daffodils, an orangey yellow and a lemony yellow. Just seeing that there's another comment cropped up. I have to refresh, you see, unfortunately, because I'm using my original mobile phone, the first internet phone I had. Oh, thank you, Carol, for the stars. That's really lovely. Very kind of you.
I don't know how to do the stars by you.
Yeah, you can only do it on, I think, on Facebook. I don't know how much a star is, but I think you have to have like a reserve account with, or through PayPal or so. I don't know. It's all too technical. People think because I do all of this. Hello, you as well. Finally, well, it's welcome along. It's fine. It's lovely to have you with us. People think I'm very technical because I do a lot of technical stuff.
Here.
But I only know what I need to know to do the thing that I need to do.
Because you said that with the stars you get money, don't you?
Yeah. Eventually we do. We don't always get them straight away. I think.
So, I look at so many of yours and I can't star them because I don't know how to do it. So I'll have to find out. Maybe Guy will know.
Yeah, I'm sure Guy will know. I'm going to go a little bit lighter, so I'm going to throw in a bit of lemon in there, so it just changes the green slightly.
It looks so pretty, Barry.
But doesn't it stand out already? And when I paint the brown branches on the blossom tree, because it's quite sticky, isn't it? There's one poor little blossom tree down the avenue. There's, I think, 5 trees down each side of this path. And there's one little feeble one that's just got one branch of blossom, and all the others have, I don't think it will come this year. They were planted last year, I think, for the Jubilee. And I think all the daffodils were planted last year as well. So these daffodils go the full length of the avenue with the cherry trees. So there's snowdrops in the early spring, and then the daffodils come up as the cherry trees blossom. It's really beautiful. They've done such a good job in this park.
And the thing is, they have to, with all these, we have all these celebratory plantings of trees, but then they forget to look after them.
Yeah, I know with, sadly, with some of the HS2 stuff, they plant the trees to hide things and then they die. and then because it's cheaper for them to just buy new trees than it is to have somebody water them, which is just awful. Just awful. But anyway, we won't go on a rant today, will we? We're gonna.
No, we won't. We'll stay
No,
still.
I'll have this painted when you finished it, please.
Yep, you can indeed.
Because I wanted the lamb one he did. In the
I know. I sold the lamb one last. I did the lamb in gouache last month.
Oh, I had Barry's wave.
Oh, from that was the oil class, wasn't it? The oil wave.
It was crashing up like that.
Oh, yes.
I'll put that down because I need to do some more.
Dogs as well.
Oh, really?
He's got
They're
another
not
new
so
one.
easy to do, dogs, I think.
No, they're tricky, but in gouache, it's really nice to do. So I'm just making a slightly darker green, just to fill in some of the willow a little, and you can see the trunk. When we did the town mayor's Sunday in the park last year, our stand was right by the weeping willow, which was lovely.
Is it still have any interest from the Quakers? Because it was a Quaker setup, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think they eventually they just handed it all over to the town council to look after, so it's all owned and managed and operated by the town council now, not the district council or the county council, just the town council. Well, that's starting to look like a scene.
It
Yes,
is.
it's lovely.
I love the willow.
I love the paths.
Yeah, I'm into my now. The paths, they are tarmac, but I'm going to do them a purpley grey, just to make it quite fresh and yeah. You're very quiet on YouTube. Is some of you actually trying to keep up with me live? If you are, I'm always impressed. Those of you that post what you do live, because I was going to say I couldn't do it, but clearly I do it because that's what I do every month. But so I'm going to do some dry brush grass now, and that's tricky in the sense that it's not dry brush at all. Your brush has to be damp. Watercolour terminology is just terrible. And so your brush has to be damp, and then you bounce it up your paper to give you a grassy texture. So I don't want a colour that's too strong compared to the grass that's already down there. I just want a bit of texture. Now the war memorial's white, so that's handy, but I'll be doing the stone wall and the church in a sort of ochre-y stone, which is the Horton stone, which is natural Banbury stone.
Where the green is resting on the wax of
Yeah.
daffodils, it looks like it shapes up the daffodils, doesn't it?
It does.
It look like the trumpety thing.
Yeah. You see, if I was going to do daffodils closer, I'd sharpen the wax crayon even more and create more of the flower shape, you know. So if I was doing really up close daffs, that's what I'd do as a part of it. Rosemary says she's not that daft, she has enough trouble keeping up in class. You know what? Absolutely. I'm not going to do anything with the distant grass because it's too far away, and I'm not putting the lamppost in. It's a lovely lamppost,
But no, spoil it.
but I mean, it would frame it here, but if I would put the lamppost in, it would be a Victorian lamppost, you know, with the...
No,
you
we're
know,
not doing that.
No, I haven't got the time anyway, it's already past.
I'll be in about hour 3 doing this at home.
Well, because it's on Facebook and YouTube, and I will try to add it to the website as well, you'll be able to watch it back so many times. And the good thing is you can pause me when you watch it back and mute me, which so many people would have loved to do in the past, I'm sure, to keep me quiet. So we've got a bit of texture there now, so it's all starting to come alive. And with watercolours, it doesn't fully come to life until your darks are in, and you don't put your darks in until last. So we'll do the path, I think. So if I go with ultramarine,
So can you have, when you're on the web, does it mean you can have the sound or not?
Yes, yeah. So on YouTube and Facebook, you can there's a little speaker emblem, and you can click on that and either have it on or off.
Slash through it when it's on.
Because I've asked at the library if I could do it, you see.
Oh, and then you could
Yes, and
mute the sound.
well, they said I could take earphones. Well, you see, I
Oh.
can't when in the library, you see, can't have the sound coming.
No. You could take earphones and plug it in, or with our YouTube channel, I think, and our Facebook channel, we've selected to have subtitles.
Oh, I see.
So when it's muted, you can, it doesn't always get it right, especially with a Dudley accent like mine. But for the majority, you'd be able to understand what was going on. Oh, hang on, Facebook's going on. Let me have a see what they're saying. Hi, Libby. Welcome. Oh, you got sore neck, Melanie. Absolutely. So, crimson, ultramarine, and burnt sienna will make that lovely purple grey, and I can put that on for the path.
So I suppose if it was very gritty, you could put some grey blobbles of wax, couldn't you, towards the front?
Yeah, you could actually. Yeah, you could. Like if you're doing like a beach or a gravel or something. Yeah, but what you see? Right. If you were going to do that, I wouldn't press down hard.
No, just
So
tap it
it just and I'd skim it, so it hits the peaks and the troughs of the paper.
yes.
Well, just the peaks you want. Like dry brushing, but with just with wax crayon. Right, so what I'm going to do to get a sense of distance is I'm going to start adding a bit more water to the path. There's a bench there that I've just forgotten. So if I add more water, it gets a bit lighter. Oh yeah, don't forget, if I do have any customers, I will have to pop down. It's a quiet, funny day today. I think the weather stops people from wanting to buy art. But you see, the cafe, when it's damp, that's their busy time. But when it's damp, it's my quiet time, because you don't do art in you don't want to buy paper and soluble stuff in the wet. So I may have a quietish day today. But it's been a hectic week, so I don't mind. It does. But we've been really busy, you see. I did a class on Monday morning, a class on Monday evening, a class on Tuesday afternoon, a class on Tuesday evening, a class on Wednesday afternoon, a class on Thursday morning, a class on Thursday afternoon, a class Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and the demo this morning. And I've actually got Sunday off. I've got tomorrow off, but I've got a rehearse for singing for several gigs I've got coming up. So I've not got it off. I'm just not here. But I'll be doing something else other than art. So that's quite nice. Right.
I've just realised that I'm going to miss the Jubilee thing because I should be on my holidays, won't I? Will I? Yes, I will, won't I?
6th of May.
Yeah. Oh no, May.
Yeah, it's May.
Forget it.
Yeah, you're going in April, aren't you? This week? Are you going next week?
No, I'm going on Monday.
Oh.
Doggies are being picked up tomorrow
Wow.
to go to Wales.
You will have a beautiful time.
Well, it's exotic Sheffield. So going up to the swimming championships to watch the championships.
Right, so I'm going to mix some Horton Stone colour. And I haven't got yellow ochre here. You could use yellow ochre, but I wanted to sort of create a simple palette. So if I go with cadmium yellow and burnt sienna, I'll get an almost yellow ochre. But the knack is stick a bit of purple in it, and you'll get yellow ochre. Because it needs to dull down. Oh, I've got someone in the shop. See, this is better. As soon as I mention customers. Right, let me nip down. I won't be. Oh, I need to find my little sticker. I know. I saw this up here the other day, so I know I've got it.
Well, I could repeat speed.
Just keep saying it. There we go. I'll leave that there. Can Facebook see it? Yes. Right. I'll be as soon as I can. I'll be. Yeah. Won't be long.
Yes. I love coming there because I'm on my own,
Yes.
you know, with my two doggies, and it's like my lifeline
Yes.
because it's so friendly, it's so relaxing. When you're painting, you forget everything. You just do your painting. So yes, I couldn't live without it now.
I'm feeling that.
Yes, and he's so friendly, so relaxing, you know, and there's no stress at all. So yes,
And he's so knowledgeable.
yes,
So
oh gosh,
knowledgeable.
yeah, in all areas. Yeah. Have you heard him singing?
No, I haven't.
I don't think there's much, there's anything about him. So,
What's on that day to come on Coronation Day?
no, he sings beautifully.
But he said he thought he'd do it in. That's interesting.
Yes, very nicely. He calls himself vintage singer.
Oh, I see.
Stuff from the 40s and 50s.
Yes. Yes, because I remember before all this COVID went down, you know, how he hated
Yes, but now he has to do it all.
Yes. He said it was quite an ordeal. You know, for instance, he has to have a hand sewing machine and things like that.
Yes, he even has like a Vex Bissell instead of a Hoover.
Yes, oh
You know,
yes,
carpet
yes.
sweeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have any technology.
No. Well, I've had
And
to
I do.
reluctantly. This is what this is here for because I'm doing some work and because I don't work because I'm retired long ago, but I still get called in to do designs because I'm a garden designer.
Oh, I know.
Like this is a new one, this lady that I'm trying to do now, and because I swore I wouldn't do it anymore, but clients I've had through the 20 years that I did this, when they have anything else done in their garden, like some building put up or something, they want me to go back and do it, and then what happens, of course, is someone comes around and you did your garden design, doesn't it? So it all starts to build up again. So I have to keep saying, no, I'm retired. But then you get these pleas. And I mean, this one I'm doing, it's a whole garden. And the bill for them is going to be, in the plants, let's say £5,000. And you see, because I work for Wyatt's, I don't know if you know Wyatt's at Great Wright, yeah. Because I was manager there for 15 years.
Oh, well.
Yes, the garden, the plant centre, and I was always doing my garden design at the time. Then we set up the Bloxham one. Have you been to that one?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should go. It's nice.
Yes.
It's lovely. The cafe there is superb.
Is
Yeah.
it? Yes.
So I was there for 5 years before I retired because mainly I was doing the garden design work there, and we'd only just bought that. I'm not an owner or anything, but I was to say one because of being there all the time, and I developed the site design, that sort of thing. But
So is it on the roads? Is it near the road?
yeah,
Near
the main road.
Main road, yes.
And do you know where the Warrener School is?
Yes.
Yes. Well, if you say the Warrener School is here with the road going through the village
Yes.
there, there's a small lane off this side opposite the Warrener called Ells Lane,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just about
Not very far down.
a minute's drive down there. You can see it once you turn.
Because I don't have a car, so that's quite difficult.
Oh,
But
yes.
the buses go through.
They do.
But if I come from Benfield,
Yes,
if I
you
come
can
from
just
Chipping Norton Road,
yeah.
or well, from here, of course, I can.
Yeah. Oh yes, because I went years without being able to drive because
I'm back. Welcome. Hello.
Right, here we go.
Right.
We've been in silence since you.
Have you? I'm sure. I'm sure that would have. I've never known that. All the times you've been
I'm a
coming.
mouse. Just a mouse.
Just check if there's any Facebook comments. Good idea. Carol was going to get a cuppa while I'm serving. That's a really good thing to do.
Don't want to be starved.
Oh, thank you for the stars, Carol. No, it's really funny. The customer that's been in has been asking for a certain colour of paint, which I haven't had in for months. But there was a list of colours, and the only one I've got in is the one that they haven't been able to get for months, and the others I'm now out of stock of, which is really frustrating. But never mind, it's just the way it is. Right, so I'm just going to give a soft wash of this colour that I've made. It's very ochre-y, isn't it? It does work really well for the buildings and the walls. Keep it soft, but that's the add. If you and if I added more purple to this ochre colour, I'd get a raw sienna, which is slightly darker.
I was going to say, would you add a touch of brown?
Yeah, you could add more brown to it. Yeah, there's with this range of colour. I mean, I haven't got cadmium red in this at the moment because we didn't need it today. But it's amazing what you can. So if we added cadmium red to this row, we could probably make about 3,000 combinations of colours.
Oh well, I don't think I do. There's a little trial.
Because I did a bit more brown and a little bit of blue to make it a bit darker, and I can just sort of needs to be a little bit wetter, a bit drier rather. I might go darker still, but I don't want it to be too in your face. I'll do some darker tones later on. Make that a bit darker maybe. Even though that's quite orange, that's brick, but oh, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, because that's St Mary's, I need to make that dome green. So if I go with cerulean blue and a bit of that ochre colour, I'll get teal, which is perfect for there. Now, you can't see the other bit of the church, which is sort of there, but I'll put it in just so we can feel like it is St Mary's.
Because the rest is so true to the place, isn't it?
Yes.
Just exactly like People's Park is. The lamppost is there.
Yes. The lamppost is. It's just not. It. The lamppost is there. It's just there. It's off the page. That's where the lamppost is. I can see it.
It's almost a photograph of it.
It is. You've been cheeky, missus. Right. If I'm going to add a darker tone of a dark brown, I'm using my smaller brush, because that will help me do the willow. It's gorgeous. Again, this is such an old tree. And what works well with the wax resist is I can put the branches in, and it makes no difference at all because the willow is there. And because the willow is there in wax resist, it just gives, and where you've got the gaps, that's where it will go brown. So it is it's a really good way. So if you're apprehensive with smaller things, and where you might use masking fluid and then add colour, just use wax crayon. I mean, the art snobs won't agree with it because it's child stuff, but who cares? If it gives you the result that you want, why does it matter? Ark at me being rebellious. Well, the thing is, yeah, I think,
Because the stepmommy tells me you can't do it.
Do you know what? My mother was exactly the same, Jane. If you said to my mum, you wouldn't dare, she'd dare.
Yes.
Just because she would dare. Yeah, absolutely. So it's coming on now, isn't it?
And do you like that bluey green on the trees at the back?
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Yeah, the bluer you do the background trees, the further away they look.
Yeah.
Whereas the warmer you do something, the closer it. Yeah, so cool colours push back, warm colours come forward. So you do more blues at the back and more browns and darker tones at the front. Right, let's go with this lovely nutty brown that I've made from the burnt sienna and the ultramarine. I'm missing a bench. I'm going to have to put that in. But it is there. I've drawn it. But I've just... it's only the back of it. But, you know, that's okay, isn't it? So, because I was missing for 5-10 minutes, we're doing... And because I know where these branches are, I can just follow where the blossom is. I think in terms of watercolour, if you've always been nervous to do it, this is one of the easier ways to do watercolour painting with wax resist. Because you can use the wax resist for foliage, you can use it for flowers, you can use it for falling water, you know, like for waterfalls and things. The difficulty is with that you'll be using a white, which does mean that you won't necessarily be able to see where it is. But it has a lot of potential. And again, you know, back when I was working in mainstream education, you wouldn't think of doing stuff like that. You wouldn't think twice about doing this, because it's something that's fun and it's easy. But as we get older, we lose all of the fun stuff, and you know, you start thinking, oh, it's really highbrow stuff, and actually you can still have fun and enjoy yourself.
I suppose you could use a green candle, couldn't you?
You could. I don't know how well the green candle. I'm not sure if it's that pigmented, because I only know that because I think I've tried. I used a birthday candle because I was quite. I didn't have anything, and I think the colour of the candle didn't really show up much.
Sometimes they only colour it on the outside, don't they? They dip it.
Yes.
Rather than it being green, because I've seen that when you...
I'm going to do a few branches coming off the edge there.
The wax in the middle is white.
I don't want to spend too long on this because it is only a 45-minute demo. But it...
Imagine me doing something like this in 45 minutes. Never.
Do you know what though, Christine? Sometimes the quicker you move,
Yes.
the more natural things get.
When I rush at the end,
Yes.
sorry, it's always better than the precious stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you do it more slowly.
Because, yeah. Well, yeah, when you think about it too much, because people say to me, well, why do your clouds look random and why do your rocks look random? Well, most of the time it's because I'm chatting while I'm painting because I'm teaching, and I'm not overly thinking about where I'm putting things. And when we're on our own doing it, we think too much about where to put things, and then it starts to look contrived, and everything looks exactly the same size and the same shape, and all your clouds look the same, your rocks look the same. So try just talking randomly to see how things go. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to make a bit of grey. I've got somebody in the shop, but they might have to wait a minute, I'm afraid, because I want to finish this first.
Immediately that looks 3D, that little monument.
It's just that little bit of that back of the bench there. Slightly darker colour for the sides. Bit of texture in the wall. But do you know what? I think I'll leave it like that because it just shows you.
Don't be an adder.
No, and it shows you enough of what needs to be done to do the wax resist. So you can do so much with a wax resist. I will take a photograph of this before I
Give it to sell it.
before it goes to Jane. But hopefully you found that really useful and interesting. So it's a Bluebell Wood in acrylics, Facebook only, on Saturday the 6th of May around 11 o'clock. It may be a bit later, it may be a bit earlier, I don't know, because I'll be live outside. So thank you very much everyone, take care, have a really good weekend, have a lovely April, Take care. Happy birthday, April, as well. See you soon. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.